Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel where we discuss all the news, important information and events about electric vehicle ecosystem. So before I proceed with today's big news guys, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you can stay updated about everything that is happening in electric vehicle ecosystem in India. So it's beginning with today's news guys. Hyundai Kona's new facelift has been released, and it is definitely has a sleeker headlamp and has now LED daytime. The front fascia has been changed. The current model has a kind of a gradient which is not there in this model. As you can see, the headlights are definitely sleeker and gives it a more futuristic look guys. The battery will now come in two variants. You will get an option of the existing battery that is 40 kilowatt hour or 40 units, and then there is a option of a 64 unit that you will get. The 40 unit battery is claimed to give in India around 452 kilometers, so definitely we can expect more than around 500 kilometers from the 64 unit battery that is being promised. But right now in India you can only get 40 units battery guys. So, and that is ARAI testing I'm talking about. Definitely if you test it in other geographies, the claim is different. There 40 kilowatt is claimed to give a range of 300 kilometers, but in India it is claiming a range of 450 kilometers. Maybe it's because of different climate conditions. Apart from that guys, when it will be released is not really sure, and right now you can get the 40 kilowatt battery pack that is the existing Hyundai Kona, that is around 23.76 lakh. We can only hope that this model will be competitively priced at this price, or at least near this price, and does not increase, because EVs are already coming out pretty costly, and especially the SUV segment. Now the newcomers like Tata Ultras or Mahindra EKUV are expected to really bring down the prices of electric vehicles. Right now the cheapest electric vehicle which you can get in the market is Tata Nexon EV. But in the SUV segment it really shoots up, the price really shoots up. So definitely the price has to be really competent if you really want people to buy your electric SUV. So I've told you about the battery size, about the range I have already told you about. So and about the power of the engine, if I tell you about, so the torque output is 395 Newton meter and a 204 horsepower. That is for the the 64 unit battery. For 40 unit battery you get a power of 136 horsepower. So that is about the power of the engine. And also the display, now earlier existingly you are getting an 8-inch display, but now you will be getting an option for 10.25 inch display. Touch screen, though definitely enhanced experience is also being promised in the new Hyundai Kona. When exactly it will be launched is something we will have to wait for, but it might be coming in second half of 2021. So let's eagerly await for the arrival of new Hyundai Kona guys. Great design. Moving on to the next news guys, Tata Nexon EV. One of the user has posted that Tata Nexon EV wished him happy birthday. Like you can see the display on my screen, it displayed happy birthday to the customer. It's a good news because it comes as a surprise, because normally in our experience that level of customization we are not used to. We are used to in other services like many coffee shops or many restaurants, they take your number and then they wish you on your birthday. But getting this on display of a car is something which is new and definitely very good offering from Tata Nexon EV, which by the way is the most sold EV in India, 65% market share, and followed by Hyundai Kona and MG ZS EV. So definitely a good move, and probably what has happened is that somebody in the car dealership linked the KYC norm, because of which the birthday was recorded. So definitely the dealership also has done a good job, and it really shows that now the cars are not just a mode of transport, but are rather more connected devices in the complete ecosystem of mobile phones, laptops. So your car is one of those devices, which means that remotely somebody has updated that and it is remembered your birthday, and now it is showing the happy birthday message. So that is one good move, and definitely it will improve the perception of Tata and Tata Nexon EV in customer mind as a highly high tech and tech driven product. So guys, that was one news which I wanted to share. Moving on to the next news, guys, I have already told that Delhi EV policy has been applauded, and it has been invited. It was invited in United Nations dialogue for zero emission that happened, and the Delhi's EV policy and the efforts have been discussed and applauded by United Nations. It's called the Race to Zero dialogue, launching the global race to zero emission mobility, which is definitely a very proud moment for every Indian that policies in our state and in our country is being applauded by United Nations. Daily EV policy I've already discussed, I've already reviewed. In case you want to see, please check out my previous videos. Daily EV policies key takeaways are, guys, 30,000 subsidy for two-wheelers, 30,000 subsidy for three-wheelers, and 1,50,000 subsidies for cars. That is obviously dependent upon battery capacity. In case you are looking for buying electric two-wheeler or four-wheeler, this is the right time. Many manufacturers are giving festive season offers, and Delhi government is giving you no registration charges and obviously cashback subsidy. This is the right time because definitely it will be limited to certain limited number of models. So that's another news that I wanted to share, guys. Moving on to the next article. Basically, it's about India's EV scenario. The article is appears on india.mongabay.com, written by Mr. Mayank Agarwal. He's a journalist in this feed, and what he's saying is that it's bad news, or should I say it's a contrary opinion to electric vehicles, that we believe that electric vehicles are green, but what he's saying is they may not be as environment friendly as it seems. If you remember that I have discussed a report few days back where it was discussed that definitely adoption of electric vehicle policy will reduce our dependence upon import of diesel and petrol, and crude oil in total. But there are a lot of other key takeaways, a lot of other trade-offs that we'll have to do. That the revenue that the government gets in forms of taxes from oil and from oil and natural gas, or from petrol and diesel, that will be reduced. The jobs in oil sector might be reduced, but that should be sufficed by the increase of jobs in EV sector. But that is another thing that is being done. And also, not in this article, but I have read somewhere that now that dependence on power sector will increase, then we have to make sure that dependence on renewable power is also increased, because at the end of the day, if you're producing power by fossil fuels, kind of adoption of electric vehicles gets nullified, because then you're producing power by fossil fuels and you're running a car on that. So dependence on renewable energy in power is equally as important as adoption of electric vehicles. If both go hand in hand, it's great. If initially electric vehicles are adopted, but then solar is adopted or renewable energy is adopted, that is also good. But what is preferred is if both go hand in hand, because definitely if there is a power surge, there will be a lot of requirement for fossil fuels, and might impact the environment negatively. So that's what this article is talking about, and so I've already discussed this in my previous video, so I just wanted to highlight once more in that segment. And moving on to an interview of Mr. Sanjay Kapoor. His interview has appeared on Business World. He's the chairman of Solar Comstar. Solar Comstar is like a very big auto component manufacturer. What he's saying is that they are ready for both internal combustion auto parts and electric vehicle auto parts. But one thing that has been asked out of him is that, what do you think that is the scenario in electric vehicles, and what is the biggest challenge? The one thing which he says is the manufacturing capabilities is going to be the challenge, that we have to develop sufficient manufacturing capabilities. Guys, batteries are not manufactured in India right now, they are assembled, and we need to develop our capabilities. None of the big battery manufacturer players, Amara Raja batteries, or for that matter the other battery players, nobody has announced right now that that they are going to manufacture lithium-ion batteries and other equipment. So but it has to be done, and one thing which has to be seen is that, guys, that electric vehicles run on lithium-ion batteries, and lithium-ion batteries need lithium, nickel, and cobalt and aluminium, and reserves of lithium is not really considered too much in India. So we have to really also ramp up efforts of extracting lithium and then processing it and then making it battery, because at the end of the day, if you're importing batteries from abroad and then assembling it, so the benefit to the economy might not that be much. I mean, your dependence on imports of oil has reduced, but then your dependence on imports of battery has increased. So it's just taking money from this pocket and putting it in this pocket. So guys, that's one thing which he has cited, but he's definitely said that the manufacturing capabilities have to be built up, apart from obviously the charging infrastructure. Moving on to a section of international news, guys. Total is oil and natural gas distributor in France, and it's a France-based energy company, and it has acquired a company of charging solutions, which is a German business that operates EV charging infrastructure. So which claims to have 2,000 charging points, which is good. Now this is the trend which we have observed across the globe, that traditional energy companies like Shell, Total, and these companies are now acquiring charging station companies. It happened to Podpoint, which is a company in United Kingdom, and it is going to happen to a lot of companies. So that is a trend that we are noticing, that the traditional oil and natural gas energy companies are now acquiring charging infrastructure. So again, good news, definitely gives impetus to startup environment, because now there are viable exit options for them. So guys, this was about today, guys. I hope you liked the video. In case you want to stay updated about everything that is happening in electric vehicle ecosystem, do hit the subscribe button. I come here regularly and make videos. If you have any doubt in your mind, just comment and we will reply within 24 hours. So see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.